Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd. The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
From the Grenadian capital, this is Network News for Friday, May 16, 2025. In the headlines, 3 accused of murdering an American couple last year enter guilty pleas. Vans stolen, produce dumped, family pleads with thieves to return their vehicle. Attorney at law raises alarm over treatment of High Court judge charged with assault. SIAP comes to an end after 7 years. Also in the news, regionally, Guyana Defense Force troops attacked during patrol near Venezuelan border. Internationally, peace talks between Ukraine and Russia take place in Turkey. Plus, in the sports news, Chase confirmed as new West Indies Test captain, Warrican named vice captain, while Anderson Peters opened season with a third-place finish at Doha Diamond League. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Hello, I'm Kenroy Baptiste. 3 men at the center of a high-profile kidnapping and double murder case involving 2 American retirees on Friday entered guilty pleas at the St. George's No. 1 High Court before Justice Paula Guilford. Nisha Paul reports.
St. Andrew residents Ron Mitchell, Trevon Robertson, and Atiba Stanislaus, who gained international attention in February 2024 after escaping lawful custody and fleeing to St. Vincent aboard a stolen yacht, now await sentencing on a total of 2 indictments arising from the deaths of Ralph Hendry and Kathy Brendel. The prosecution is led by Director of Public Prosecutions Christopher Nelson KC, who indicated the Crown's intention to proceed on capital murder indictments when the matter came up for arraignment before Senior High Court Judge Justice Paula Guilford on Friday. At the St. George's No. 1 High Court, the men were charged with capital murder in connection with the deaths of Hendry, 66, and Brandel, 71, between February 18th and 21 last year. The trio were offered lesser charges after being initially slapped with capital murder. Mitchell pleaded guilty to non-capital murder, while Robertson and Stanislaus both pleaded guilty to manslaughter. All 3 also pleaded guilty to multiple additional charges, including housebreaking for illegally entering the yacht where the couple resided in Grand Anse, robbery with violence involving the theft of the yacht, valued at over $1 million EC dollars, kidnapping of the American couple, and rape of Kathy Brandel, to which Stanislaus alone pleaded guilty. Representing the accused men were Jerry Edwin for Mitchell, who was 30 years old at the time of his arrest, Naisha John Diarra for Robertson, the youngest at 19, and attorney Arlie Gill for Stanislaus, who was 25 years old at the time of his apprehension. Attorney Gill spoke with reporters outside the court following his client's arraignment.
I believe that the arraignment this morning and the guilty pleas, basically they have followed where the evidence have led us at this point, in the sense that the investigations by the officers here in Grenada and those in St. Vincent have been quite thorough, and also to the defendants, they have more or less confessed to the offenses as charged. There were only one issue which concerned Atiba Stanislaus and Trevon that we were able to have a meaningful discussion with the learned Director of Public Prosecutions, Nelson King's Counsel, and he was able to, after discussions, agreed to them entering the pleas of guilty for manslaughter, having regard to the lesser role with regards to the death of the deceased persons.
Attorney Edwin also shared his view on the development.
That were entered this morning for manslaughter in the case of Mr. Trevon Robertson and Atiba Stanislaus, and non-capital murder from Mr. Trevon Robertson. Justice has met this case. There were a number of other areas of offending, and the judge will sentence at the end of July.
The family of the deceased, represented by Brian Hendry and Suellen Desmarais, was also present in court. All matters have been adjourned to July 29 at 10 a.m. for sentencing. Reporting for GBN News, I am Nisha Paul.
A St. Andrew farming couple devastated after their produce-filled truck was stolen overnight, leaving them without their only means of income and transportation. More in this Renapet Thomas report.
Farmer of over 40 years, Thomas Tellisford, affectionately known as I, and his wife are in distress after discovering their small van stolen between Thursday night and early Friday morning. The couple has been selling produce in St. George as business is slow at their vegetable stall near their home in Balthazar, St. Andrew. Tellisford said after a day of selling on Thursday, they repacked the van as usual for the next day. But at around 4 a.m. Friday, as they prepared to head out for their daily hustle, they made a heartbreaking discovery.
Yesterday from the garden, I go pick up the madam in St. George's and we came up. I had my garden tools in the van, like my chainsaw, my weed eater, and spraying can and stuff like that. I go pick up and we came up. Pack up the truck and ready for the next morning to complete the journey again. So when I get up, she went down to take a shower and she called to me, "Yeah, the truck missing." I said, "Missing?" I said, "What is it?" She said, "Yeah, man, the truck missing. Somebody go with the truck." And when we come down, we realized the truck was gone. I had plantains, I had watermelon, a couple thousand pounds of watermelon. I had sapodillas, I had mangoes, and
the farmer said the police were notified immediately and, with their assistance, checks were made in various communities. A few hours later, he was contacted to identify what appears to be his produce dumped near the Grandans Beach area, but the vehicle was gone.
He said, "Well, there is a report out and they see some vegetables somewhere down by umbrellas and granans, and they do believe it could be it, so they would like me to come and identify it." So they dump some just to lighten it, and they maybe just cover up the balance just at a normal rate, and they go with the truck. So all now I still retrieve the truck. Well, it hurts, it's painful.
The couple disclosed that this is not the first time they've fallen victim to theft. Over the years, they've endured pretty larceny, stolen cash from both their farm and shop, and even missing items from their home. Just 2 weeks ago, Tellisford said he parked his van opposite his home to pick some green bananas. When he returned just minutes later, his money bag and van keys were gone.
And I lost over $4,700. And I was just 2 weeks weeks back. But what I find it was suspicious. The ignition, the key was in the ignition and they go with it. So I was concerned over that. Why they go with the key? Although they just pull the bag and go with it, but why they go with the key? And you have to be the same person that come back now because they have the key. They have the key for the truck. They will never retrieve the key. But what had happened from since that had happened? Every night I always take off the battery pole and I tie a dog right by the battery stand there, thinking that could have safeguarded it. But maybe they give the dog something to eat to distract it and just put on back the pole and go with it.
His wife says farming is their only source of income and the livelihood they have used to raise and educate their children. With the truck gone, they have no transportation to get to the farm or to continue selling their produce in St. George, leaving them emotionally drained.
That's going to morning time when I'm selling, I have to stand up whole morning just to get $2 to send my children to school. And somebody go come and they'll just pick it up and go with it. It's hardly encouraging, because you work hard and that is what you face at the end of the day. I know my husband does go all in the morning, non-stop like a robot. When he reach home, he tired, miss. He eating and he falling asleep with the food in his mouth. And then at the end of the day, you go just take his produce, you take the chocolate that he have and go with it.
The couple is now calling on authorities to take stronger action against theft of agricultural produce. They believe stiffer penalties, more robust policing, and better support are urgently needed to protect farmers and their livelihoods. The investigation into the stolen vehicle and the produce continues as the location of the van remains unknown. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Other news, the curtains finally came down on Thursday, signaling the closure of the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, SIAP. More details in this report.
After 7 years of serving Grenada's rural communities, the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, better known as SIAP, has officially come to an end. The SIAP program commenced in April of 2018 after the closure of the Market Access and Rural Enterprise Development Program, MARAP, and has contributed to the reduction of poverty and vulnerability among men and women in rural communities throughout Grenada. Throughout SIAP's existence, it has benefited 70 climate-smart agriculture and enterprise business development projects, including fishers and farmers. Minister for Economic Development, Honorable Lennox Andrew, thanked the SIAP team and all stakeholders, calling the program a powerful example of what investment in people can do.
All these beneficiaries here are really business people. From the SIAP training, they have been able to establish their own business, work for their own money, become economically independent. And that, to me, is perhaps the greatest achievement of SIAP. When you can train a people to utilize the time, the talent, and the treasure, and to produce a good or a service for which there is a demand, so they can earn money, earn a decent income, and live a decent life from their own effort. That, to me, is perhaps the greatest achievement of SIAP.
At a closing ceremony held in Marquee on Thursday, Program Manager Dr. Stephen Fletcher gave the assurance that this isn't the end of development, but the start of something new.
What often seems to be the end marks a new beginning. And I think whereas we are now celebrating the end of SIAP as a project, as a program, we are entering into a fundamentally new phase of development. A new phase that is aimed at building on the experiences that we have had in SIAP, building on the total experiences. We have had some very positives. We have done very well in some areas, and in other areas we have not done as well as we could and should have done. All those things, however, came together to make the project and the program what it's ending. But by so doing as well, it is spurring and providing a catalyst for the new beginnings. And some of those will have enough time internally to reflect, to discuss on it, and to really pull the lessons and have it imbued into the new programs that we are looking at initiating. I'm very proud to have been associated with SAIP for the last 2 years, and I'm even pleased with the progress that we have made. But as much as we have achieved, there is more work to be done, and we have to get working immediately. The end here doesn't mean it is time for us to relax, lest we forget the experiences of the last 6 years. We must immediately move into enhancing those and implementing them, learning the lessons, drawing the critical lessons, the most important ones, of course, and driving future projects.
SAIP, funded mainly by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, helped boost rural development through skills training, climate-smart farming, and business support. Representing IFAD, Gaetan Tinnett said the program's real success is reflected in the lives that have been transformed.
IFAD is proud to have supported Grenada's rural transformation over the past 15 years, first through GREP, then MAREP, and now with SAIP. And we do look forward to continuing this partnership in the years to come. So, as we close this chapter of SAIP, we recognize that the true measure of success lies not only in the numbers, but in the lives impacted, in the skills developed, and the opportunities that have been unlocked for rural youth, women, and farmers across Grenada. IFAD remains committed to standing alongside the government of Grenada and its people in advancing rural transformation. We thank all partners, especially the beneficiaries, for their dedication, resilience, and collaboration over the past years.
Farmer Devon Fullerton was among those impacted. After losing most of his land to flooding, he said SAIP helped him bounce back. With SAIP now closed, discussions are underway for a new program to start by 2026 with more than $15 million in potential funding. Christina John, GBN News.
Now, serious concerns are being raised about the treatment of a sitting High Court judge now facing a criminal charge. Attorney at law Cacheton Hood is warning members of the public to be cautious with their words as the legal process plays out. Nisha Paul tells us more.
Attorney Cacheton Hood is sounding the alarm, warning the public against making defamatory or reckless statements about Justice Sean Innocent, who is now facing an indictable charge of assault.
Persons have sent to me evidence of certain statements in social media negatively against the judge, and I want to caution persons regarding that. We are not to be abusive to the court, and I consider that to be abusive to the sitting judge, to the court. We ought to respect the court. And statements regarding what transpired without you having the facts are not good. They could be scandalous. They can lead to suits for defamation. I will not hesitate, quite honestly, to take action against any person who makes statements and take action that may be deemed to be defamatory against the judge.
Justice Innocent was recently formally charged following the execution of a police search warrant at his private residence, an action Hood believes lacked due respect for a sitting judge.
I am not saying that a judge can escape action. I'm not saying that. But as I said to the commissioner and other people, what if today or tomorrow somebody runs out of the Prime Minister's dwelling and say they have been assaulted? Are you just going to search the place? Are you going to arrest the Prime Minister? You would approach it in a particular way. And that was my concern. I asked for a copy of the warrants because I wanted to make sure based on the instructions of the judge, that his rights had been properly safeguarded.
But despite repeated requests, the attorney says he was not given a copy of the warrant or charge documents.
Eventually, when the charges were laid, I understand, and that was confirmed subsequently, that that bail was given by the Chief Magistrate in St. George's, and it was given over the phone. So the question of the judge being in custody did not arise.
Bail was granted in the sum of 10,000 EC dollars by Chief Magistrate Francine Foster, with no travel restrictions placed on the judge. He would also dismissed reports that the complainant was harmed during the alleged incident.
My instructions are that nobody has been harmed in any way, on account of what the judge has been accused of.
He says the law defines assault broadly and is questioning the decision to lay charges in this case.
And I'm puzzled, I'm flabbergasted by the decision of the DPP. Why? I am sure the public has seen on social media video of a person or persons waving a gun, and I don't want to call names, and threatening other persons on their property. I have not heard of any charge being laid, and I think the public knows what I'm talking about. I'm aware of incidents where persons actually have been on other persons' property and sought to draw a firearm, and persons have not been charged. However, my biggest concern is the respect for the court. The court serves a purpose that none of us can replace.
Justice Innocent is not currently sitting on the bench while the matter is ongoing. His legal team has written to the Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, seeking full disclosure before deciding on next steps. As this case unfolds, it is raising broader concerns about judicial independence, public accountability, and how sitting judges are treated when under investigation. Reporting for GBN News, I am Nisha Paul.
We take a break here on Network News. Still to come from us, 70 young people in the agriculture sector now have access to loans, interest-free soft loans and grants for their small businesses. We'll talk about that. Stay with us.
Grenada, the time has come. It's the big showdown in the first ever Classic Lighted and the Communal Credit Union Invitational 2025. Come witness the Royal Grenada Police Force and His Majesty's prison officers take on the nation's busmen and women in an epic 4x1 relay. Then it's Flow versus DG Sal. And don't miss out, Nawasa, who will be flooding Grenlec in the ultimate relay. All this and more, May 17th and 18th. At the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Adults $30, children $15. Season passes are available. It's a showdown like no other. Be there.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/FastPay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Home is easy, easy with Republic Bank. Are you dreaming of owning your own home? With Republic Bank's Home Easy Loan, you're one step closer to making that dream a reality. With competitive rates, reduced fees, and up to 100% financing, Republic Bank makes owning your home simple and stress-free. Start your journey to independence, empowerment, and the joy of home ownership today.
Republic Bank, we're bringing home to you. Home easy. It's not just a mortgage, it's peace of mind.
Terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Climate change is real. Storms are getting stronger and droughts are lasting longer. Are you prepared for what's ahead? At Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, we want to help you protect your investments. Build for the future with a BFF loan. Make climate-smart upgrades and strengthen your home to withstand nature's unpredictability. Get 100% financing to build or purchase a home or make additions to your existing structure. Enjoy discounts on related loan fees and special benefits when you choose climate-resilient solutions. We are also offering financing of up to $50,000 unsecured for your home upgrades. Invest in renewable energy, energy-efficient appliances, water storage, and so much more. The time is now to ensure your investments can withstand climate change. Invest in your home, protect your family, and secure your future with a BFF loan. You have a BFF in Co-op Bank. Visit our website for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinaire Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Hey parents, we all know children don't come with manuals, but you can step up your parenting game. Join the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Grenada National Council of the Disabled for an incredible series of community engagement. Discover essential topics like child abuse prevention, understanding discipline versus punishment, building healthy relationships, mastering parenting in the electronic era. Catch us in your community nightly from 6 to 8, starting in the community of River Sally on Monday, May 12th at the River Sally Government School, Tuesday, May 13th at the Mount Horn Community Center, Wednesday, May 14th at the Willis Community Center, on Monday, May 19th at the Anglican Government School in the community of St. John, and in the community on St. David on Tuesday, May 20th at the Ponderosa School. Enhance your parenting skills and create a brighter future for your children. Join us and step up today. Brought to you by the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs.
Oh, it happens to all of us. Low on cash and in need of money right away. Play Instacash Monday to Sunday and there are no draws.
So what you saying? No numbers to choose from?
Nope.
And no draw sessions to wait on?
Nope.
And we can play it anytime and any day?
Yep, including Sundays. Instacash. Ask for it by name and choose from a wide variety of games as low as $2 and win instantly. It is fast, it is easy to play, and you win cash right away. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Do you have multiple loan payments? Is your debt weighing you down? Ariza has the solution. Simplify your loan with Ariza's Simplify Loan promotion. Now you can combine all your payments into one easy, manageable loan. Enjoy lower interest rates, flexible repayment terms, and more cash in hand for what truly matters. Less stress, more freedom. Live comfortably while reaching your financial goals. Ariza helps you simplify your life because you deserve financial freedom. Apply now. Visit any Ariza branch or WhatsApp us at 423-4987.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. 70 young people involved in the agriculture sector now have access to loans, interest-free soft loans and grants for their small businesses. Christina John has this report.
$8,000. That's the sum now available through grants and loans to benefit young people involved in the agriculture sector. On Friday at the Ministry of Agriculture conference room, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the Ministry of Agriculture and the Grenada Development Bank. The funding will be made available to the young people who successfully completed training programs in general agriculture, livestock, and agro-processing and have successfully completed their business plan. Using agriculture project manager Cindy Lewis explained the allocation that would be available to those young business people.
It therefore means that $25,000 from the funding, that is what is available for each person enrolled within the project. Permit me to briefly highlight the objectives of this project, which is critical at this juncture to emphasize its alignment with today's signing of the MOU with GDB. The funding is made possible by the CARICOM Development Fund and the Government of Grenada, with the implementation done by the Ministry of Agriculture.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry is Isaac Bagwan.
One of the concerns that continue to be raised by young persons and entrepreneurs and small businesses is the issue of the access to funds. And notwithstanding, this is a pilot with the Grenada Development Bank. We expect you to be able to benefit. We know that all the businesses will not be able to fully flourish, and we do expect that there would be some failures, but our our effort is to try and minimize that failure and to have much more success. So I'm saying this to say that you need to grab onto the opportunity and make good utilization of the fund.
Chief Executive Officer at the Grenada Development Bank, Royston Cumberbatch, explained that after accessing the funds, further guidance will be provided to the young entrepreneurs through the bank's project manager.
Don't see farming or agribusiness as, hey, I make some money, I want to make some quick money, and to buy nice clothes or flash or whatever. See, it's a business. You're building a business, and with a business, sometimes you have to make sacrifices because you have to nurture it. Just because you nurture a plant, you actually have to nurture your business. You have to nurture your business, look after it, spend time with it, take care of it. Make sure you have marketing, make sure you understand your customers, and all these good things. I also want to encourage you, because often with agribusiness and farming, I notice that everybody is planting the same thing. And I think I encourage you to just study the market a bit. So you have to think, even in your agribusiness, how can you use technology? Because of course, to achieve certain quantity and qualities, Grenada has two main seasons, rain and sun. You have to have things like shade houses, or even drip irrigation. All these technology will make sure that actually that your crop is well developed. And of course, if you're into livestock, there is all different technologies as well.
This undertaking is a milestone for the youth in agriculture and agro-processing, implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture through funding by the CARICOM Development Fund and support from the National Training Agency, Grenada Development Bank, and the Grenada Investment Development Corporation. Christelina John, GBN News.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union is stepping up its support for small and medium-sized enterprises with its second annual business forum. Rita Pitt Thomas tells us more.
The Grenville Credit Union Limited is continuing its efforts to support local businesses. On Thursday, the credit union hosted its second annual business forum for its business clients. Held under the theme Strategy for Sustainable Growth, the event brought together entrepreneurs and professionals from across Grenada to discuss innovative ways to grow and sustain their ventures. Devon Charles, General Manager of the Grenville Credit Union, said that the forum is part of the organization's commitment to fostering financial empowerment and strengthening its partnership with the business community.
As a cooperative institution rooted deeply within the community, the Grenville Cooperative Credit Union is not only interested in providing you with financial support. We are invested in building capacity. We are committed to helping entrepreneurs like you to become resilient, to become digitally ready and financially astute.
The general manager highlighted recent statistics on small and medium-sized enterprises in the Caribbean, noting that many fail within just a few years of operation.
Digital marketing to help you expand your reach and to attract modern customers. Legal essentials to strengthen your governance and intellectual property safeguards, and financial management to ensure that more SME leaders become more competitive, more sustainable, scalable, and ensure that you are strategically aligned.
To help address these challenges, the forum focused on 3 key areas aimed at better equipping businesses for long-term success.
In our region, where private businesses represent most of our activities in terms of employment, we see significant failure rate in the SME sector. And according to the OECD, over 70% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. You would agree that if businesses are more productive, if the survival rate increases, it creates greater opportunities for employment, it fosters innovation, and we see a greater level of diversity at a national level.
Rita Thomas, GBN News.
All right, this story to report as the start of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season draws near. The government of Grenada, together with the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, is ensuring that all 17 districts across Grenada are ready to provide services in the event of a disaster. Here's what we can tell you. On Thursday, the agency embarked on the training of disaster coordinators in the use of equipment such as generators that will be placed at the district offices to ensure easy access. Dr. Terence Walters is the National Disaster Coordinator.
So the government of Grenada has procured 34 generators, all right, and these generators would be distributed 2 per district. We have 17 districts, and each district would be given 2 generators for use if there's an emergency or a disaster, and so that is what we have here today. So what we've realized is that when there's an emergency or disaster, the districts, sometimes it can be difficult to get to the office, the main office, to get equipment. So we've decided that we will pre-position some equipment, some basic equipment at the district level. So the districts will be given chainsaws, generators, and other equipment like spades. There's spades, there's some construction kits that will also be given, and raincoats and flashlights. So a number of pieces of equipment, basic pieces of equipment, will be provided for the districts across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
Donald Richards assisted NADMA with the training. He said the training in the use of generators is part of a series of training exercises.
Well, the training is in time for the hurricane season. Also, it's not just for hurricanes, because it could be for any event, but it's to get the district coordinators and the different committees on how do you operate a generator, the safe use and operation of these generators, so that in the event they need to deploy them, they would be safely deployed. And districts are here together with some other committee members. Well, it's very important because, one, you want to care for the asset, so you don't want a generator to be only there for one use. You want to prolong the life of a unit, and then 2, it's something that produces electricity, so you want it to be safe, right? So you want to ensure that they safely operate them, and they operate them in such a way that they can last a longer time and also be ready for any event, because as I said again, hurricanes is only one disaster, so you have to be ready for any event or any need that you need them for. Well, we'll be looking at basically setting up new portable ones. We'll be going over the general use of the generators, the general operation, how to operate them, how to maintain them, the things to look for, and basically that's it.
We return to Dr. Walters, who underscored the importance of training and preparedness.
The National Disaster Management Agency, we understand that it is important to have our districts or communities or volunteers across Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique ready in the event that there's a hazard, there's a disaster. And so the people at the main office, all right, we won't be all over the country, so we're depending on our ears, our hands, our feet at the district level to provide services. We've trained some persons in the community emergency response team. So we've done CERT training. We have our district teams. We have our people to man the shelters. So we're providing equipment for them at the district level, so that they will be able to respond at the district level whenever something happens, instead of having to wait for help to come from elsewhere. What we've also done is that we have provided some equipment to the Royal Grenada Police Force, okay, in terms of chainsaws, and we're going to equip the police stations with generators, so that we would be in a better state of preparedness.
Also on Thursday, government, in partnership with the European Union, convened the second EU-Grenada Sargassum Task Force meeting at the Chublebe Resort Conference Room. The high-level event brought together development partners, financial institutions, and government stakeholders in a hybrid format to enhance regional coordination in addressing the growing sargassum crisis impacting the Caribbean. In her opening address, address, Minister for Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, Karine James, emphasized the critical nature of the issue. She noted that the recurring influx of sargassum is not merely an environmental challenge, but an urgent socio-economic and public health threat, disrupting livelihoods, damaging marine ecosystems, and severely affecting key industries such as tourism and fisheries. The meeting included virtual remarks from Felix Fernandez-Shaw, Director for Latin America and the Caribbean at the European Commission's Directorate General for International Partnerships, and in-person contributions from David Mogollon, Head of Cooperation at the EU Delegation to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Both reaffirmed the EU's strong and ongoing support for Grenada and the wider Caribbean through sustainable, climate-resilient development initiatives. We can tell you too, the session concluded with a collective call to action and a commitment to sustain momentum in the lead-up to major events later this year, including the EU Global Gateway Forum and the third EU Caribbean Sargassum Conference scheduled for October 2025. Participants stressed the importance of turning shared insights into concrete, actionable strategies to address the sargassum threat more effectively. Next in Network News. Public Utilities Regulatory Commission and Rocky Mountain Institute enter into landmark partnership. We'll be right back.
Heritage Theatre presents Breaking Out, the Grenada Love Story, featuring Robert White and Lisa Grappi, written and directed by Chris DeRiggs.
But I still love you, Richie.
You love me and you're hard in me. 4 big performances, Saturday 24th and Sunday 25th May at the Grenada Trade Center, Saturday 31st May and Sunday 1st June at Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime 7 p.m. sharp.
He's the love of my life, Auntie. You have to marry a man for other things besides love, child.
Get your tickets at Mitchell's Pharmacy in Grand Anse, Gittins Health and Wellness Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmata, St. David Pharmacy, St. Andrew Pharmacy, Art and Soul Boutique at Spiceland Mall, 3B's Shoe Store, and GoToFed.com. Breaking Out. Come out and enjoy Grenadian theater at its best.
This ad complements Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Shop with confidence at Courts. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Courts. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
And everybody, fully 1 week. Nah, telling you. You them boss dragon. Hello. You see that? About 10 let them make a order, man. Me a 38, man. But you are 92. Yeah. You need the number 1 run, man. That is it. No what? Nice. Yeah. Look number 1. Yeah, me too, man.
Whether sipped neat, mixed into a classic cocktail, or savored on the rocks, our rum delivers a taste that captivates and satisfies. Choose greatness. Choose Class Code, the number 1 rum. Produced by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Hi, I want $10 on Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please. Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet? Yes, multi-X, all of them. Smart. Best value bet. Backup and multi-X. You cannot go wrong. Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your Playway, daily Pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
ACB, speed, start, manage, expand. Don't call me small.
success? Call us at 444-4919 or visit us at acbonline.com to learn more. Start, manage, expand your business today.
Do I have to tell you, I'm committed to us.
She made me feel some measure of warmth, maybe even passion. If I decide to do this, I'll be doing it for you, no one else.
Labukan presents Rivals, playing at Labukan Creative Center, GCNA Complex, all weekends in May, Saturdays 8 p.m., Sundays 6 p.m., and Deluxe Cinema Grenville, Saturday, June 7, 8 p.m. Tickets from Grenadian Optical, Labukan, St. Andrew's Pharmacy, and Go to Fit at $75. Sponsors Bryden and Miners Limited, Knights Auto, Sandals, GBN, Republic Bank, Trios Auto, Corp Bank, and Huggins. It's Rivals by Francis Urias Peters. Don't you miss it.
You better come back, boy. You better come back.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Rebecca Television Center, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, and the Rocky Mountain Institute, RMI, have entered into a landmark partnership aiding the advancement of Grenada's sustainable energy goals. The rest of the details in this report.
The Gulf Information Security Expo and Conference, GISEC, the world's largest cybersecurity event, brought together cybersecurity vendors and professionals from over 140 countries. The 14th edition of the conference took place in Dubai from May 6th to 8th, drawing experts to tackle the world's most urgent digital threats. Representing Grenada were Jervis Dabrio, coordinator of the National Cybersecurity Incident Response Team, CSIRT, along with Inspector Alan James, the officer in charge of the IT department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, RGPF, who participated in discussions on ransomware, data breaches, the growing human cost of cybercrime, among other key concerns. Dabrio says the digital world has become a breeding ground for manipulation and emotional exploitation, from phishing scams to romance frauds, all rooted in what's known as social engineering.
We got to, throw ideas around, hear what is happening in other spaces, and so my main concern was really that of combating cyberbullying. We do have a serious problem in Grenada with cyberbullying. There are people who are being hurt I've had to deal with cases of school children not wanting to go to school because of what is being posted by them. Some even considering self-harm as a result of what is posted. And of course, you have adults who do not have the moral authority to address it because they themselves are in the gutter with that level of despicable behavior on social media.
But one issue stood out above the rest: the emotional and psychological toll of cyberbullying, particularly among young people.
Coming out of the discussions, what I can say is this: the days of the cyberbullies are numbered. Because of how much pain cyberbullying is causing world over, there are lots and lots of different organizations putting lots of resources into, dealing with this sort of problem. Okay. So for the people who are here, participating, they are perpetrators of that sort of behavior. My warning is you maybe need to reconsider right now and set a new course.
In response to the rising threats, Dabrio is calling for the reactivation of Section 6 of the Electronic Crimes Act, which previously dealt with offensive messages, online harassment, and violation of privacy.
I do hope that the parliamentarians, the lawmakers, will revisit Section 6 of the Electronic Crimes Act. That was repealed in 2014, and I think it is high time that we consider putting it back. And for those who would say, hey, Section 6 infringe on your rights to freedom of speech, what have you, if you're saying the right things and you're doing what you should do, then you have no reason to be worried about the law coming for you. I have no problem with the police searching my vehicle because I have no illegal weapons or drugs in there. So they can search it whenever they want. Section 6 of the Electronic Crimes Act need to go back on the books.
With the digital landscape evolving rapidly, Dabrio's call is a reminder that Grenada must act now to protect its citizens, especially the most vulnerable, from growing dangers online. Reporting for GBN News, I am Nisha Paul.
All right, I'm off to the newsroom. I'll be back to report the sports news. Stay with us.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Brandon, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians, from wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gov.gr www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Sporting fans, good evening. Cricket West Indies, CWI, has announced the appointment of Roston Chase as West Indies Test captain for the upcoming home series versus Australia in June, with Jomel Warakan named as vice captain. The appointments were unanimously approved by the CWI Board of Directors during its meeting on Friday. This announcement follows the completion of a groundbreaking, robust and structured process to evaluate and recommend the next captain and vice captain of the West Indies Test team. Recognizing the critical role of leadership in shaping team culture, driving performance and ensuring long-term success, CWI adopted a data-informed, multi-dimensional framework to guide the selection. This marks a significant evolution in how leadership appointments are made, aimed at strengthening accountability, transparency and alignment with modern cricketing standards. We can tell you the process began with a short list of candidates selected based on several factors, including test experience, leadership qualities, and captaincy credentials. The shortlisted players included John Campbell, Tevin Imlach, Joshua De Silva, Justin Graves, Roston Chase, and Jomel Warakan. This story to report. The Grenada Volleyball Association has wrapped up a week-long training session. The session formed part of efforts to expand the sport locally. 34 individuals representing coaches, players, and other stakeholders participated in the exercise. Grenada is currently ranked 7th and 9th in the female and male divisions, respectively. President Javin Noel said the association is currently in its foundational stage of development. He added that the rest of the year promises to be very demanding.
And our final tournament for this year is our Under-23 indoor tournament, which will take place in October for both male and female. So we are definitely looking for a good spot. However, as with everything, we have to work hard and we have to set up the necessary programs to ensure that when we send our national teams out, we get that good quality.
And what's your ranking? What's Grenada's ranking?
So Grenada's ranking currently in the female Under-23 is 7th, and in the male it's 9th. So definitely our first objective would be to maintain or increase our ranking in that aspect of it. I do believe we are at a good position since we implemented our yearly periodization plan, which started last year with the senior team. And most of the Under-23 athletes were a part of that program. So they have definitely been at a higher level than they were last year. It's just a matter of improving that structure and, of course, when we turn it to the tournament, to execute to the best of our ability.
The training is being conducted by Francisco Ovas.
Idea of the program in the IFABB is called Empowerment, has 3 different levels of helping developing countries to get to a higher level. One of them is education. That's the one we are right now. We're providing education. Another one is providing technical direction with coaches. That Grenada is also using that program, and Coach Pierre Nasir is being sent by IFABB to direct that. And the third one is provide them with materials that they can use on the practice, and that Grenada is also being awarded with it, and they have received material, balls, and nets, and things that they need to practice volleyball. So the support is complete. Now the job has to be done, has to be kept on enough time, but I'm sure that FIBB will still support if they see, like I hope, that the country is growing and is working hard to get the goal, that is to go higher in the level of competition and go higher on the number of participants of volleyball.
Grenada's Anderson Peters opened his 2025 season with a solid 85.64 meters to claim the third spot in men's javelin at the Doha Diamond League on Friday. Germany's Julian Weber stole victory with a last-rung world-leading 91.06 meters, and India's Olympic champion Neeraj Chopra finally smashed the 90-meter barrier with a national record 90.23 meters. Kishan Walcott kept the Caribbean flag flying in fourth at 84.65 meters. The showdown in Doha marked just the seventh competition in history to feature two 90-plus throws, underscoring the event's exceptional quality. Former world champion Anderson Peters of Grenada last year beat Neeraj Chopra by 1 centimeter to win the Doha Diamond League in 2024. The national trials for the upcoming COTEC Under-12 Sub-Region 4-Team Championships for boys and girls are set to begin this weekend. The championships are scheduled for Trinidad from July 12 to 19. The players selected to participate in the trials are Elaine Drigo, Garrison Stanislaus, Jaden Hector, Gabrielle Hobson, Kaylee Elcock, and Celeste Edwards. The players will undergo a series of activities, including a physical fitness test, ITF, ITN test, and a series of trial matches. The results of the tests will determine the final selection as well as the players' rankings. We can tell you too, the trials are scheduled for Saturday, May 17 at the Mount Cinnamon Tennis Facility starting at 9 in the morning. Sub-Region 4 consists of Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, Barbados, British Virgin Islands, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Netherlands Antilles, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, and U.S. Virgin Islands. Trials will continue next weekend. We wish the young ones the very best. That's the sports news for now. The Guyana Defense Force, GDF, has confirmed that its soldiers came under fire 3 times within 24 hours this week while on routine patrols along the disputed Guyana-Venezuela border. In a statement issued on Thursday, the GDF disclosed that the attacks were launched by armed men dressed in civilian clothing, positioned on the Venezuelan side of the river. No GDF members were injured during these incidents. The rest of the details in this HGP TV report.
Orphan members of the Guyana Defense Force, GDF, came under fire on Tuesday and Wednesday while conducting patrols in the Cuyuni River near the border with Venezuela. In a statement early Thursday, the GDF reported 3 separate attacks within a 24-hour period. Fortunately, no Guyanese soldiers were injured. The attacks were reportedly carried out by armed men in civilian clothing on the Venezuelan side of the border. According to the GDF, its ranks executed a measured response on each occasion when they came under gunfire between Eterimbang and Macapa. The force emphasized its commitment to protecting Guyana's territorial integrity and the safety of its citizens. It stated that regular patrols along the Cuyuni River will continue in response to these acts of aggression. The public was assured that all necessary steps are being taken to safeguard the nation's borders and maintain internal peace and security. 3 months ago, GDF soldiers were injured in a similar incident in the Cuyuni region after coming under fire from suspected Venezuelan gunmen. Additionally, on March 1, 2025, a Venezuelan military vessel entered Guyana's waters and conducted patrols near all ships, demanding information from their crew. Last Monday, President Irfan Ali reassured citizens that the nation's borders remain secure. This comes as Venezuela defies the International Court of Justice's ICJ ruling and prepares for regional elections in Essequibo, scheduled for May 25, 2025.
To all the citizens of Guyana and those who are living in the territory of Guyana, you have nothing to fear. You're living in what is our sovereign space, and we're going to protect and ensure that our sovereign space is respected by all.
Tensions heightened further on May 2, 2025, when Venezuela officially rejected ICJ's order, issued a day earlier, calling for the suspension of its planned regional elections in Essequibo. The Venezuelan government responded by reaffirming that it does not recognize ICJ's jurisdiction and will not comply with its rulings.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is attending the peace talks but criticized the low-level delegation being sent by Moscow as Russian President Vladimir Putin will not be there. U.S. President Donald Trump suggested that significant progress in peace talks was unlikely until he and Putin met in person.
Hopefully today is the day when direct talks between Russia and Ukraine restart, talks about ending this war. As you say, Kasia, hopes are running pretty low. They're not getting any higher, but at least they'll be in the same room for the first time in 3 years. The Russian delegation spent the whole of yesterday waiting for the Ukrainians here in Istanbul. It's a low-level delegation led by presidential advisor Vladimir Medinsky, and Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine spent a lot of time thinking, does he send anyone to meet such a low key figure? And he's dispatched his defense minister, Rustem Umerov, who's coming to Istanbul later today. I'll give an example of how different the Russian and Ukrainian positions are. While Volodymyr Zelensky says that his team's mandate is focused on ceasing fire immediately, the Russians, they've been saying throughout yesterday that they're focused on a long-term peace and removing the root causes of what they call this crisis. And translated from Kremlin speak, this is basically, it means that no, they're not really interested in ceasing fire. What they're interested in addressing what started this war in Kremlin's point of view, and that means the very existence of Ukraine as a sovereign state that can make decisions of its own. The presence of Marco Rubio here in Istanbul, it adds weight to what's going on, even though he is not expecting much. Also, interestingly, the head of the Russian delegation, Vladimir Medinsky, he said yesterday that Russia was prepared to discuss compromises. What that means exactly is not clear, but hopefully it's a step forward and a sign of a little flexibility on Russia's part.
So when you talk about these compromises that the Russian side are potentially prepared to discuss, we're not clear on what they will be, but if they are still focused on the root causes of this war, and as your point very much, Vitaly, saying that has always been the very existence of Ukraine, where could possibly these potential compromises be?
A reminder of the headlines right after this. A reminder of the headlines. 3 accused of murdering an American couple last year enter guilty pleas. Van stolen, produce dumped, family pleads with thieves to return their vehicle. Attorney-at-law Cajetan Hood raises alarm over treatment of High Court judge charged with assault. SIAP comes to an end after 7 years. Also in the news regionally, Guyana Defense Force troops attacked during patrol near Venezuelan border. Internationally, peace talks between Ukraine and Russia take place in Turkey. Plus in the sports news, Roston Chase confirmed as new West Indies Test captain, John Mawarakan named vice captain, while Grenada's Anderson Peters opens season with third-place finish at Doha Diamond League. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. That's all from us in the GBN newsroom. Have a safe and beautiful weekend. Be safe.